I mean, this is amazing. These are by far my favourite colony, and I don't say that to everybody, I promise, but every frame I'm pulling out of here is full of bees. There's absolutely no disease that I can see so far, which we would expect, although this time of the year we have to monitor a little more closely because there's so many more bees, which means there's the potential for more disease. But every single frame is stacked full of brood. So this is the queen laying eggs, and the eggs then obviously get hatched and then fed. There's a little bee here with some pollen. I don't know if you can see that. There's loads of honey for them. They're lovely and calm. They're like textbook bees. I wish all the bees were like this. They're an absolute joy. There's brood in all stages, which means that there are eggs. There are eggs that have hatched, which happens after 3 days. There are larvae of all different ages that are being fed pollen and brood food by the bees. I'm hoping we'll be able to find a queen. There's loads of honey being made in the top 2 supers. I believe the queen's marked in here. I have to check my notes. There's another one with that bright yellow pollen. I'm going to have a little look in the pollen guide and see exactly where that is. Have a little look on this side, out your way. This is a waggle dance going on here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and show you. Where's she gone? Here. So I don't know if I can see that. I can't see where they're on. So this little walking around in a figure of 8 and shaking her bum, she's communicating to the others where there is a good source of pollen. And oh, there's another one here, look. She's going to wiggle again or not? Maybe not, but there's one here, another one here. So they're basically communicating, and the waggle dance tells the bees roughly how many kilometers from the hive they need to fly in order to find the source of pollen. Whether it's a lot of pollen or a little bit of pollen, so the sort of intensity of the source. It also tells them the degree angle in relation to the sun which they need to fly when they leave the hive in order to reach the source. And it gets even cleverer than that, because of course you and I know, as well as other people, that the sun is always moving. And because the sun's always moving, it means that they have to change the dance by the time they get to the hive, to take into consideration that when they were at the source, the sun would be in a different position by the time they get back. Now this is really interesting for me. So here we have a queen cell being built, which means that they're ready to swarm because there's so many of them, which is great for me because it means I can take full advantage of that. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to keep going through and find the queen. I'm going to leave that in there, let them build a queen. I'm just going to mark this with QC, which means queen cell. And I'm going to split this colony, which is what I hope to do from the very beginning, which is great news. It means we get 2 beautiful colonies just like this. That won't affect your honey production, don't worry. They're already doing amazingly well in here. You've got loads of honey coming out in here, crikey. And it won't affect the health of your bees either, because we do a real thorough check before we split them to make sure that they are happy and healthy and strong enough to survive being split. And you see how many bees there are in here now, and considering the time of the day that I'm doing this, about half of them will be out foraging, so you can imagine just how packed it is when they're not here. So I'm going to tidy up here, and I'll see you guys in just a second.